ago, I sold my business to pursue art full-time. When I graduated art school in 2008, social media wasn't yet a viable way for me to connect with a collector base, so showing in galleries was the only way I could get my work seen. As I started showing my work here and there, a few shows a year wasn't quite enough for me to make a viable income. My options at that point were to get an MFA, which would allow me to teach art, or to get a job to supplement my art practice. Because I had no interest in teaching, I ended up working as a designer for 7 years before starting my own online business. The first 2 years were really tough, as the learning curve was incredibly steep. But by year 3, we started growing pretty quickly. As my business grew, I had less and less time to paint, and by year 5, I was at the point where the business completely took over my art practice. I was 37 at the time, married with 2 kids, and this was also the time when my father passed away. I remember it was at his funeral that I made the decision to sell my business and pursue art full-time. I made all the necessary arrangements, trained the new owner, and finally, by spring 2021, I dove headfirst into running a full-time art studio practice. Over the last 3 years, I have learned so much and made many mistakes. I finally decided to start this channel to document my process of running a studio practice and being a professional artist. A really good way for artists to get local awareness about your work is to participate in your open studios locally. During open studios, a jury selects participating artists who then will open their studios to the public. It's free to attend, and often you'll get gallery owners and curators come through, meet you, talk to you about your work. You'll show your process, and sometimes they'll offer you a show in the galleries. My absolute favorite part of the open studios is that because it's open to everyone, often you'll get people come through who normally would feel intimidated to go to galleries, but who would love to connect with local artists and collect their work. I live in the Washington side of the Portland metro area, which allows me to participate in both the Portland Open Studios and the Clark County Open Studios. We are 5 weeks away from Portland Open Studios and 8 weeks away from Clark County Open Studios, so there's a lot to do. This will be my second year participating in Open Studios events, and I'll be publishing one video per week as I get ready for it. Comment below. I'd love to hear your experience with Open Studio events or any questions you may have about being a full-time artist. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.